Hi everyone, it's hbi2k again. Now I don't own a webcam like my friend Lanipator, so you're all just going to have to make do with this still image of me in a Mario costume. I'll get straight to the point. A number of Abridged series creators have reported being the victims of phishing attacks, most notably Lanipator, and apparently also TeamDattebayo, the creators of Death Note Abridged. Lanipator has already released a video telling his side of the story, but I still wanted to share mine. Long story short, I received a private message on YouTube, apparently from Lanipator, telling me to check out a link to a video that he wanted some feedback on. I clicked on this link, which prompted me to enter my YouTube password, which I did. This was incredibly stupid. Fortunately, as soon as I realized that there was no video at this link, I immediately became suspicious and changed my YouTube password. So while the hijacker, to whom I will be referring with the totally mature nickname of Cap'n Dickless, was indeed able to briefly seize control of my account, all he was able to do was pop off a quick private message to one of his friends before I was able to shut him out again. I also received a couple of emails from LiveJournal not long after, informing me that somebody was attempting to reset my password using the lost password function. Fortunately, LiveJournal does not do this unless they receive a confirmation email from the email address registered to them, so that attempt failed as well. So what have we learned here today? First, use common sense. If a message you receive from somebody you know looks suspicious, ask them about it. Give them an email, call them up on the phone, use AIM or Skype. But one way or another, confirm that the message really does come from them before you respond to it. Don't use the same password for more than one thing. I was lucky. My YouTube password is different from my LiveJournal password, which is different from my email password. If they had all been the same, and if the hijacker had been a little smarter and had spent his time changing my passwords rather than bragging in private messages to his friends, this could have been a whole lot worse. In a larger sense, how should we respond when we're attacked for seemingly no reason like this? Well, when I'm faced with a tough moral question like this, I try to seek guidance from higher powers. Jesus would say that you should love your enemy as yourself, but let's face it. If you don't happen to be the perfectly virtuous son of an omnipotent creator deity, that can be a little hard to put into practice in real life. The Buddha would say that it is not enough merely to love your enemy as yourself, that you should recognize that your enemy is yourself, and you are your enemy, that we're all part of the same universal consciousness. But once again, for those of us who haven't yet attained enlightenment, it's easy to realize that in your head, but it's hard to really believe it. That's why I consulted my other personal savior. At first, Spider-Man might get pretty angry. But here's the thing, when Spider-Man gets angry, his judgment gets clouded. He punches the wrong person, or he does something stupid that makes it look like maybe J. Jonah Jameson was right about him after all. Spider-Man is always at his best when he's calm and tries to understand his enemy, what motivates him, where he's coming from. So here's what I think. I think that whoever's doing this is doing it because they want to feel powerful. And that makes me think that they're probably pretty powerless in real life. It's a pretty immature thing to do, so maybe they're still in school. That can make you feel powerless. Maybe you get picked on in gym class. Maybe you have a bad relationship with your parents, I don't know. Cap'n Dickless must not have a very high opinion of himself, or else he would try to create something to share with others the way that those of us who make videos on YouTube do, rather than trying to destroy something that someone else has created. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that he probably doesn't have that many friends. Well, he probably has people he hangs out with, people with common interests, people who he thinks of as friends. Maybe Chad676 is one of those people. But a real friend would tell him, hey, dude, you've probably got some pretty serious problems in your life if you feel like you need to do an immature prank like this to feel good about yourself. So maybe you should try and deal with those problems in a mature and constructive way, instead of avoiding them by going on this kind of power trip. That's what a real friend would say to Cap'n Dickless. So I guess we've learned that we shouldn't hate him or feel angry at him, we should feel sorry for him. That doesn't excuse the things he does, which is why I've traced his IP address with the assistance of LiveJournal and reported it to his ISP. Now this probably won't accomplish too much in the short term, but if he makes a habit of doing stuff like this, he might already have some complaints against him, so at least I can feel like I've done my part. Maybe if he sees that some real consequences can come from this kind of behavior, he'll stop and think about some better ways to deal with his problems. Or maybe not. I can only hope. But until next time, Berserk Abridged fans, keep your surfing habits safe, and always follow Bill and Ted's golden rule. Be excellent to one another.